Good to have you back with us. I've been on vacation, so I got a few things to say. First of all, people on social media, Facebook, Twitter, everything else have asked, Ed, when are you coming back on TV? I have been on RT America since January 1st of 2016. And earlier this week, I believe it was last week when I was on vacation, we are now on DirecTV, channel 321, 321. 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's a half-hour newscast, so I'm right there. Let's have at it. You can call well, can they call now? Yeah, no, not today. I don't want to talk to anybody today. But I just want to say I'm excited about this job at RT America. The New York Times called me today, asked me a few questions. I don't know if it had anything to do with our new platform on DirecTV, channel 321, but that's where you can see our work. All right, I'm going to say some things, liberals, that might upset you, but I want you to be fair about this. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I think it's pretty clear what he's doing right now. I do not believe that he is going to throw these young people out of the country. I don't think there's going to be any deportations. I think Trump ran as an outsider. He's not Washington. He's not government. He's a multi-billionaire businessman. And he wants to try to get things done, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. They can't get health care. They can't get immigration reform done. Now he's pushing a tax package in, of all places, of North Dakota today, and they might not get that done. What Trump is doing is showing the American people that our government is dysfunctional. Republicans and Democrats can't get together. Bipartisanship is just something they talk about. But nobody wants to do anything because they're afraid of the special interests. They're afraid of the commercials that they're going to have to go home and face. So it's just easier to do nothing. So this DACA rule that Obama had implemented certainly gave a lot of reprieve to a lot of young people in this country who are good Americans, who are hardworking taxpayer Americans. But it still has to be addressed through the law and through immigration reform. And I think Trump is doing this just to push the Congress along to try to get them to do something. I don't believe Trump is going to deport anybody. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to get 800,000 people out of the country. And so this, to me anyway, is an effort for the country to see the Congress be, number one, show their complete ineptitude, or maybe finally do something for the American people and address immigration in a way that they haven't done before. Now, on to taxes for a moment. They might not get this either. There's in the halls of lobbyists, there's a lot of whispering going on here in Washington about, well, wait a minute, we kind of like the tax code the way it is. Why in the hell drop the rate to 15% for corporations when they only pay 9% right now? They love the write-offs. They love all the advantages that are put into the tax code right now. That's why it's so damn thick. So I think that there is a pushback in corporate America to, hey, wait a minute. We kind of like the tax code the way it is right now. We like our money offshore. We don't want to bring it in. So Trump is trying to get this money offshore, invested in American business, lower the tax rate from where it is right now, but many companies, big companies, aren't paying anything in tax. Where did I hear that from? Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders went on the campaign trail, I don't know how many times, illustrating how major corporations in this country pay zero tax. So ask yourself the question, you're the CEO of a company and all of a sudden the tax code changes and you have to pay 15% when you've been paying nothing? Which one would you like? So this is a red herring. There's not going to be any major tax relief for middle-class families. There's not going to be any major tax reform done in Washington because the corporations are dumping millions upon millions of dollars into the lobbying firms to keep things just the way they are. You heard it here. You were going to ask me what?
I was going to ask you about DACA, actually.
I just don't think he's going to, I don't think Trump's going to get rid of anybody. I think he's going to go on the campaign trail and say, you know what? I told you Washington sucks. I told you Washington's dysfunctional. They couldn't do Obamacare. They couldn't do DACA, the immigration reform, and they can't do tax reform. That's why we need more change. That's where I think he's going to go.
Well, and I understand your point on that, but I mean, my big thing is he's about to learn a valuable lesson that you can test Congress all you want, but the House of Representatives is a wild card. There's about 100 and some members that are hardcore conservatives who are not going to do anything for immigration.
Until we have a revolution in this country. As Bernie Sanders says, when we have a revolution. And let me tell you something. I ran into Keith Ellison, congressman from Minnesota, in the airport the other day. And he says, what are we not doing? I said, forget the money. All I get is all these fundraising emails from Democrats. It's not the money. That's not the issue. The issue is the issues, the health care, the jobs, the retirement, the security. That's where people are right now. They don't want Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security rated because we have to take care of Hurricane Harvey. They don't want any offsets. Sure, they'd love to have a tax break that probably isn't going to come, but the fact is that it's back to the basics for the American people, and I do believe that the Democrats just have to talk to people. They're not talking in the middle of the country. Sure, they got New York and California with Schumer and Pelosi, and now Kamala Harris is sending out emails like crazy begging for money. Where's the middle of the country? When the Democrats were strong, they had Daschle from South Dakota. They had Dick Gebhardt in the House from Missouri. Tell me, who is the middle of the country representative that comes to mind? Keith Ellison? Oh, he's a Muslim. Look out. That's the way the right plays that. The fact is that Bernie Sanders, his roadmap still works. His roadmap still works, and our revolution and the effort that he's got going, I think, is the absolute best chance that the progressive movement has in this country to force change, to change Washington. It's going to be a long wheel roll, but I think it can be done.
One last thing, Ed. I don't know if you've been paying attention. You just got back from vacation. Have you seen all this stuff about the excerpts from Hillary Clinton's book where she's putting a lot of onus on Bernie for what happened?
Look, I get accused of not liking Hillary. I get accused of hating Hillary. I really don't give a damn what you think. Read her book. If that ain't sour grapes, just the excerpts she's after Bernie Sanders, because she's blaming Bernie Sanders for crooked Hillary. That saying that Trump came up with. Because Bernie was talking about her corporate speeches, okay? She's blaming Joe Biden, that Joe Biden is saying that they quit talking to the middle class. Well, they did lose Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. There's more middle-class families in those states than anywhere in the damn country. And so, yeah, I mean, Hillary's sour grapes, it's sad, but apparently she had to get it off her shoulders, off her chest, and off her mind or whatever. Her What Happened book. I'll tell you what happened. She had a horseshit campaign. It was poorly run. She was chasing Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders had the formula to win. And if she hadn't had the superdelegates, I don't think she would have won the nomination. But she locked up all the superdelegates early on. And I think that those superdelegates are going to pay a price down the road for doing what they did to Bernie. That's just my take. That's how I see it. I don't think those sins are going to be forgiven. Why don't you wait until the people vote before you decide who the hell you're going to back?
That's all I got for you.
That all you got?
That's all I got.
I'm back from vacation. See you tomorrow.